What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, anyway, let's get into this one. So, right now, just gonna speak in brief, give a little prediction on the main event for tomorrow's card, which is gonna be held in New York City, New York, and it's between Richardson Hitchens and George Ferocious Kambosos. Going into this one for me, I'll tell you straight off the bat, I'm favoring Richardson Hitchens to win this one, and I'm thinking most likely on points. And for me, in a nutshell, my reasoning is that Hitchens is the type of fighter that sort of gives George Kambosos problems. He's a pure boxer, very skilled fighter, and with George Kambosos, those are the sorts of guys and the sorts of styles he struggles with because he's a counter puncher, but he's quite an aggressive counter puncher. And with counter punchers like Kambosos, they kind of need you to be aggressive. They need you to lead off to make the first move. They need you to kind of make mistakes, and then they capitalize on those mistakes. And I think a style like Richardson Hitchens, where he's very skilled, he's a very tidy boxer. I just think he's not gonna give George Kambosos the kind of aggression that he needs. He's not like Hitchens is not like a noted puncher or anything. So most of his fights do go the distance, and I'm picking him to sort of just stick to his boxing, stick to his jab, and I'm just picking him to sort of outwork George Kambosos to be first and then be last. And I see him sort of making Kambosos possibly have to make the first move, being able to, I think he'll be able to sort of make Kambosos miss and then make Kambosos pay. I think he's the type of fighter where, with his skills, he may even be able to sort of counter the counter puncher. And I just think for me it's just going to be a bit too much of a struggle for Kambosos. I think it may take a similar pattern to how it was when Devin Haney came over to Australia and fought George Kambosos, and he was able to win twice. And it was just with simple things, just a simple boxing skills, just sticking to a good jab, not allowing George Kambosos to get close, not allowing George Kambosos to sort of get set. It was just using those straight punches, using the basic boxing skills and movement, and just the fundamentals of the game. And I think Richardson Hitchens can do a sort of similar job, and they've been talking about stopping each other. But for me, I don't know about that. I think he can hit a bit, Hitchens, but I don't think he's particularly powerful. So I think it does go to points, but I think it's going to be a very clear cut victory for him because I don't think, as I said earlier in the video, I don't think Kambosos, as the counterpuncher, is going to be able to deal with a pure boxer. I think that's his sort of kryptonite to him. I think he's all right with a guy that's aggressive and comes at you and takes risks and, kind of fights a bit more recklessly. But I think when he's in there with a guy that's, sort of pure boxer, Lomachenko done the same thing against him with the angles and attacking from all over the place. And, he just doesn't really have to. And even Devin Haney, in a more straightforward sort of orthodox way, just completely outworked him and didn't allow him to get set and get settled. And I think they'll have studied that footage. And Kambosos, as our most part, is a creature of habit, and I just don't think he'll be able to sort of adjust to this, and I don't think he'll be able to deal with the sort of pure boxing of Richardson Hitchens. Of course, look, I could be totally wrong, but I think as long as Hitchens sticks to his boxing, I really don't see Kambosos winning this one. I've got Hitchens as a heavy favourite to do this one on points. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.